Have you ever felt like you're screaming into the void, putting your heart and soul into everything you do, only to realize that your partner seems not to notice or care? It's a feeling many of us know all too well, a silent struggle that echoes in the empty spaces of our busy lives. But what if I told you this isn't the end of your story, that being ignored isn't your destiny? Today, we're diving into the art of becoming unforgettable, transforming ourselves into someone who doesn't just blend into the background, but stands out in the busiest room where anyone will take notice of you. We're talking about real, practical steps, not just feel-good nonsense, whether you feel unnoticed in your personal and love life, undervalued at work. So if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Strategy 1. Become mysterious. Being mysterious isn't about withholding information or being reserved. It's about gradually revealing your depth and letting others discover the layers of your personality and life. As Marcus Aurelius said, "He who does not know what the world is, does not know where he is," highlighting the allure of the unknown. When you don't reveal everything about yourself all at once, you create an intriguing space for others to explore and understand you better. Seneca advised that true happiness is enjoying the present without anxious dependence on the future. Applying this to becoming mysterious suggests focusing on the present moment in interactions rather than divulging your complete plans, past or future. Share your stories and experiences in a measured way, enhancing the quality of your interactions. Epictetus taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. By listening more and speaking less, you become an enigma that encourages others to be more open and communicative while selectively sharing aspects of your life. Strategy 2. Create a fear of missing out. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It's something you design for the present. This phrase perfectly captures the essence of creating your own happiness, actively crafting a life that brings you joy right now, without waiting for future circumstances to bring happiness. Brian Tracy said that the key to happiness is setting clear and defined goals that give a sense of direction and purpose. This emphasizes the role of personal goals and a clear sense of purpose in cultivating happiness. Setting and pursuing meaningful goals significantly contribute to a sense of fulfillment and joy. In summary, creating your own happiness is a multifaceted approach that involves positive thinking, living in the moment, proactively responding to life, personal growth, self-valuing, setting goals, and having a clear sense of purpose. It's a proactive journey where you are the architect of your own joy, shaping your life with intention and wisdom. By adopting these principles, you develop a solid internal source of happiness that radiates outward, positively impacting all aspects of your life. Strategy 3. Generate your own happiness. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It's something you design for the present. This phrase captures the essence of creating your own happiness perfectly, actively creating a life that brings you joy right now, without waiting for future circumstances to bring happiness. Brian Tracy said that the key to happiness is establishing clear and defined goals that give a sense of direction and purpose. This emphasizes the role of personal goals and a clear sense of purpose in cultivating happiness. Setting and pursuing meaningful goals significantly contribute to a sense of fulfillment and joy. In short, creating your own happiness is a multifaceted approach involving positive thinking, living in the moment, proactively responding to life, personal growth, self-valuation, setting goals, and having a clear sense of purpose. It's a proactive journey where you are the architect of your own joy, shaping your life with intention and wisdom. By adopting these principles, you develop a solid internal source of happiness that radiates outward, positively impacting every aspect of your life. Strategy 4. Be valuable. Let them invest in you. This approach not only leads to a fuller sense of self, but also cultivates more meaningful relationships. Marco Aurelius once said that whoever lives in harmony with themselves lives in harmony with the universe. This underscores the importance of maintaining your individuality and personal journey, even within the context of relationships. It's about finding balance and ensuring that your life isn't entirely defined by someone else's words. If you wish to be loved, love resonates with the idea of self-love and personal care. By loving and valuing yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you. It's about not losing your identity in the pursuit of pleasing someone else. Epicurean masters taught that freedom is the right to live as we wish. This principle is vital in relationships. By maintaining your independence and personal freedom, you ensure you don't become too dependent or absorbed in someone else's world. Don't settle for stories of how things have gone with others. Develop your own myth. This encourages you to focus on your path and journey, not just your role in someone else's story. It's about creating and living your narrative. The poetic vision of Hafiz, I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being, is a reminder of the joy and satisfaction that can be found in embracing your life and journey, regardless of anyone else. Jim Rohn said, "The greatest gift you can give someone is your personal development." This sums up the essence of not making someone the center of your life. It's about being the best version of yourself for both you and those in your life. Brian Tracy eloquently stated, "Successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. Unsuccessful people are always asking, 'What's in it for me?'" This highlights the importance of having personal goals and ambitions that extend beyond your relationships. It's about contributing to others through your growth and success. Strategy 5. Maintain your independence, not just in being loved or validated by others. Hafiz's words, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being," speak to the journey of self-discovery and finding joy in your existence and value. Jim Rohn's philosophy, "Take care of your body, it's the only place you have to live," can be extended to all aspects of self-care, prioritizing your needs. It's not just about emotional well-being, but also physical and mental health. Brian Tracy's advice, "Decide today to say no to things that don't add value to your life," aligns perfectly with the principle of prioritizing your needs. It's about setting boundaries and making choices that benefit your growth and well-being. In summary, prioritizing your needs first is about understanding and valuing your worth, listening to your inner voice, finding joy and self-discovery, taking comprehensive care of yourself, and setting boundaries that align with your personal values and goals. It's a fundamental aspect of living a fulfilling life where your decisions and actions reflect a commitment to your well-being and growth. This approach leads to a more balanced life and an authentic existence that allows you to interact with others from a place of strength and self-respect. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" Applying this to our availability, it's important to constantly evaluate whether our presence or response is needed at a given moment. This encourages conscious decision-making about how and when to make ourselves available. Seneca's words, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it," resonate deeply with the concept of valuing your time. By not always being available, you're making a conscious choice not to waste time, but to use it in a meaningful and valuable way for yourself. The Epicurean masters emphasized, first, tell yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This emphasizes the importance of setting priorities based on your personal goals and values. Being selective about your availability is a way to align your actions with these priorities. The perception of roommates, act as if what you do makes a difference, is a powerful reminder of the importance of your actions, including how you manage your time and availability. Recognizing that your time is valuable, not just to you but also to others, can help establish a sense of self-respect. Jim Rohn's famous quote, "Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time," speaks directly to the importance of valuing and managing your time. Being selective with your availability is a key aspect of this. Brian Tracy stated, "The key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear." By effectively managing your time and not always being available, you focus on your desires and goals rather than spreading yourself too thin out of fear of missing out or displeasing others. In summary, not always being available is about valuing your time, setting priorities, respecting your worth, practicing conscious presence, and focusing on personal growth and effective time management. Strategy 6. Prioritize your needs first. This approach leads to a more balanced life where you have control of your time and can give your best in moments that truly matter. It's not about being unavailable, but being selectively available in a way that enriches your life and the lives of those around you. Marco Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This is relevant in communication, as not always being the initiator fosters a balance of perspectives in a relationship and allows for a more equitable exchange where both parties contribute equally. According to Seneca's wisdom, we often suffer more in imagination than in reality. It applies here. The fear of not being reached out to can be more distressing than the actual experience. By stepping back, you give the other person the opportunity to show their interest, which can be relieving and a valuable part of your interaction. The Epicurean masters taught, do not merely explain your philosophy, embody it. This can be applied to communication by incorporating a philosophy of mutual commitment and patience rather than always taking the initiative. Silence is the language of God. Everything else is poor translation, suggests that silence and space in communication can be powerful, allowing for the development of a deeper and more meaningful connection where both parties can equally contribute. Jim's view on effective communication is that 20% is what you know and 80% is how you feel about what you know. It's not just about what you say or when you say it, but also about how you manage the dynamics of your communication and the feelings involved in it. Brian Tracy's advice on becoming the type of leader people would follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position, can be applied to personal relationships. By not always initiating conversations, you encourage the other person to step forward and interact with you, proactively creating a more balanced and mutually respectful dynamic. In summary, not always initiating the conversation is about fostering balanced and healthy communication in your relationships. It involves patience, understanding, and focusing on mutual effort and commitment. This approach not only ensures a more equitable relationship, but also contributes to personal growth and the development of communication skills. It's about creating a space where both individuals feel equally valued and motivated to contribute to the relationship. Strategy 7. Not always being available. Maintaining emotional balance reminds us of Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This applies to emotional attachment. By cultivating a balanced and healthy mindset, you can manage your emotional attachments more effectively, ensuring they don't overwhelm your judgment or well-being. Seneca's vision, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary," speaks to the danger of investing too much in emotional attachment, anticipating problems or worrying excessively about a relationship, which can lead to unnecessary suffering. Maintaining a rational perspective helps keep a healthy emotional balance. The Epicurean wobble teaches, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In the realm of emotional attachment, this means having control over your emotions and not letting them dominate your decisions or life. It's about responding to situations, not reacting impulsively. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. This is relevant when addressing emotional attachment. It's about understanding your emotional barriers and working towards healthy self-love that doesn't depend on external validation. Jim Rohn's philosophy, "I wouldn't wish it were easier, wish you were better," applies here. Instead of wishing for less challenging emotional situations, focus on developing yourself to handle them better. This involves cultivating emotional intelligence and resilience. Brian Tracy stated, "The greatest gift you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance. While you offer this to others, it's important to practice it with yourself first. By accepting and loving yourself unconditionally, you reduce the risk of unhealthy emotional dependencies in your relationships." In conclusion, not being too emotionally attached involves maintaining emotional balance, keeping a rational perspective on emotions, mastering self-control, embarking on a journey of self-love, and focusing on personal emotional development. It's about finding a balance where you can experience healthy emotional connections without becoming too dependent on them. This approach leads to more mature and satisfying relationships. Always be prepared to walk away. As advised by Marcus Aurelius, value the good that is in you. It comes from yourself. This is particularly pertinent when considering the decision to walk away. Strategy 8. Balance conversations. Recognizing your own value is crucial for making the difficult decision to leave a situation that does not honor your worth. Seneca's wisdom, "Sometimes even living is an act of bravery," deeply resonates with the act of walking away. Immense courage is needed to leave a familiar place, situation, or relationship, especially when there are strong emotional ties involved. Epicurean masters taught, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." In the context of walking away, this means responding to a situation that underestimates you with self-respect and dignity. Your reaction defines your experience and your path forward. The wound is the place where the light enters, suggesting that the difficult act of walking away can be transformative. It can be an opportunity for growth and self-discovery that leads to a deeper understanding and self-love. The professor's perspective, "Your heart knows the way, run in that direction," is a reminder that sometimes your heart guides you to walk away from situations that are no longer beneficial. It's about trusting your inner wisdom and valuing yourself enough to take that step. Jim Rohn's insight, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with people who value you, encourage you, and are willing to walk away from negative influences. This is essential for personal growth and maintaining your standards. Brian Tracy stated, "The ability to discipline oneself to delay short-term gratification for greater long-term rewards is the indispensable prerequisite for success." In the context of walking away, this means recognizing that the immediate pain of leaving is a necessary step towards a more fulfilling future. In summary, Being willing to walk away is about understanding and affirming your value, having the courage to leave situations that do not respect or value you. New strategy: maintain emotional balance. Maintaining emotional balance and focusing on personal growth and self-respect involves trusting your intuition, recognizing your worth, and making decisions that align with your long-term well-being and success. Challenging this principle leads to greater personal strength, self-love, and ultimately a more satisfying life journey. As we close this chapter, remember that life's journey is as much about discovering who you are as it is about how you relate to the world around you. Guiding yourself by these principles at every step is a step towards a more empowered society, a balanced and fulfilling life. Remember, you have the strength within you to face any challenge, make difficult decisions, and shape a life that resonates with your deepest values and aspirations. Your path is uniquely yours, illuminated by the wisdom of those who have preceded us, from Stoics to poets, from philosophers to modern thinkers. Before you go, I invite you to dive deeper into this well of wisdom. On your screen are two playlists: Stoic Life Lessons and Stoic Habits, each a hidden treasure trove of ideas and practical advice that will help you navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. Strategy 10. Be prepared to leave. Whether you're seeking guidance, inspiration, or a moment of reflection, these playlists are your companions on the journey. So continue exploring, learning, growing, and remembering. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Be your best self, not out of spite, but because you deserve the extraordinary life that awaits you. Have you ever wondered what advice on love and sexuality ancient philosophers offer to prevent our relationships from falling into toxicity? In the intricate labyrinth of relationships, there exists a guide that has withstood the test of time: Stoicism. Prepare to dive into an emotional odyssey where you'll discover the best-kept secrets of antiquity to ignite passion, conquer love, and explore fulfilling sexuality. The Stoics believed that life should be lived in harmony with nature, and that our emotions, including love, seduction, and sexual desire, should be understood and wisely managed. From the Stoic perspective, love and sexuality are not merely fleeting passions, but opportunities to practice virtue, self-control, and more. We'll explore how these ancient teachings can shed light on our modern love lives and offer timeless wisdom for facing the challenges and joys of relationships. Are you ready to discover how Stoicism can transform your view on love? Join us on this journey and find out. It's crucial to recognize our nature as human beings, and the Stoics provided valuable lessons on how to approach love and sexuality in our lives. While love can be a powerful and unifying force, the Stoics emphasized the importance of approaching it with awareness, avoiding uncontrolled passions or toxicity from taking the helm. Regarding sexuality, the Stoics did not see it simply as a physical act, but rather as an expression of the natural order with its own purposes and meanings. Understanding this is crucial, as it allows us to discover deeper and more meaningful ways to relate to ourselves and others. In other words, the Stoics offer us a unique lens through which we can see and understand love and sexuality in a broader context, where self-control, respect, and mutual understanding are of utmost importance. If you've ever felt lost or confused in matters of love and relationships, or if you're simply seeking a new, profound perspective, I invite you to join me on this journey through the world of love and sexuality through the eyes of the Stoics. Although their teachings were formulated millennia ago, the lessons they contain are as relevant today as they were then. When discussing Stoicism, it's impossible not to mention the profound reverence this philosophy had for nature. How does this relate to our desires and sexuality? The Stoics had a deep understanding of human essence, considering it essential for living a virtuous life. Regarding sexuality, they believed we are born with certain inclinations and desires, neutral in essence, and what matters is how we respond and act upon them. Desire, especially sexual desire, was not something to be rejected but a natural part of our humanity. What distinguished the Stoics was how we chose to act based on those desires. Beyond accepting desire as natural, the Stoics viewed sexuality from a broader perspective, related to the cosmos. According to them, everything in the universe follows an order dictated by nature, a constant flow of causes and effects. Sexuality in this context is not just a physical act or mere attraction. It's a manifestation of the natural order, an expression of nature's will for life to continue. Understanding sexuality as in harmony with the universe's order leads Stoics to see it as transcendental. It's not just about pleasure or procreation, but a way to connect with something greater than oneself, with the rhythm and melody of the cosmos. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write mind over body so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. As we explore sexuality from a Stoic perspective, we're not just talking about individual acts or isolated desires. We're contemplating how these fit into nature's vast canvas, reminding us that we are, essentially, natural beings. Our desires and actions, even in the realm of sexuality, should be understood and addressed within this broader context. After all, our sexuality, like any other aspect of our existence, is an opportunity to live in harmony with the universe and ourselves. You might have heard the term Stoic love, which might seem like a contradiction at first glance. After all, Stoicism is known for its focus on self-control and detachment, while love is one of the most intense and passionate emotions we can experience. However, the beauty of Stoic thought on love lies in the fact that, far from renouncing it, it invites us to experience it more deeply and meaningfully. As one of the most famous Stoics said, "We don't avoid emotions, but we choose which to follow." This idea urges us not to reject our emotions, but to guide and give them direction. Here, it's about not being carried away by uncontrolled passions. Love, when impulsive and unexamined, can lead us to hasty decisions, obsessions, or even despair. However, when approached with Stoic wisdom, we can love deeply without losing our inner peace. This is known as love without attachment, loving without expecting anything in return, without trying to possess or control others, but simply appreciating their presence and valuing the shared moment. Love as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they are, and you will have a peaceful life. This gem of wisdom urges us to reconsider how we approach love. Instead of trying to shape a relationship according to our expectations, Epictetus suggests that we learn to love and appreciate things as they are. Detachment, in the Stoic context, does not imply a lack of care or affection. On the contrary, it means loving more freely and genuinely. It's the ability to enjoy the present without constant worry about the future, to appreciate our loved ones without trying to change them. It's about understanding that true love is not possessive, but liberating. In summary, the Stoics offer us a unique perspective on love. It's an invitation to experience love in a deeply passionate yet balanced and centered manner. They remind us that love, in its purest form, is a celebration of life and our connection with others. When we live from this place, Stoic wisdom and detachment become one of the most enriching and transformative experiences of our lives. Marriage and family, cornerstones in countless cultures throughout history. But how did the Stoics approach these concepts? What meaning did they find in these institutions, and how did they live them in their day-to-day lives? First, it's crucial to understand that for the Stoics, marriage transcended being merely the union of two people in love. It was also a commitment to society and a contribution to the continuity of humanity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, expressed that the act of marriage is natural and directed towards the perpetuation of the species. He didn't see it as a mere social convention, but as an integral part of cosmic harmony and the natural order of things. From this perspective, duties and responsibilities in marriage were not burdens, but opportunities for personal growth and contributing to the common good. Fidelity, mutual respect, support, and commitment were fundamental for Stoics. A successful marriage was founded on virtue, mutual understanding, and commitment, working together to achieve a greater good for both the couple and the community. Regarding the education and upbringing of children, the Stoics also had a profoundly thoughtful perspective. They firmly believed that children are not simply small adults, but developing beings who need guidance, love, and above all, good examples to follow. Seneca stated that children learn more from who you are than from what you teach. In other words, the behavior and actions of parents are the first life lessons for their children. From this perspective, educating a child was not just about imparting knowledge, but also instilling values, teaching by example, and preparing them to face life with wisdom and resilience. The Stoics advocated for an education that cultivated virtue, self-control, and the ability to face adversity with serenity. In conclusion, the Stoic vision of marriage and family is a combination of commitment to nature, society, and oneself. It was not just about fulfilling roles or following conventions, but living according to principles that enriched the lives of individuals and the community as a whole. It's a vision that, although ancient, still has surprising relevance in the modern world and offers a refreshing perspective on how to live relationships and family responsibilities fully. We must remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, who stated that what does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee. This simple reflection invites us to view love and relationships not only from an individual perspective, but also from a collective one, reminding us that what is good for one should also be good for the other, and vice versa. Seneca, on the other hand, warned us that wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. In the context of love, this reflection invites us to treat our partner with kindness, understanding, and respect at all times, recognizing their humanity and value in our lives. But how do we apply this knowledge to our current relationships? Here are some ideas based on Stoic thought. Value the present moment. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that life is short. So cherish every moment with your partner, live in the present, and do not let worries or future expectations eclipse your current happiness. Exercise self-control. Stoics believed in the importance of self-control in love. This means not giving in to jealousy, anger, or resentment. Practice patience and understand that everyone, including yourself, is imperfect. Love without attachment. Following the teaching of Epictetus, we should not cling too much to external things, as they are not under our control. Love passionately, but always be prepared to accept any outcome with serenity. Cultivate communication. Although Stoics did not directly address communication in relationships, they emphasized the importance of wisdom and mutual understanding in daily life. Cultivate open and honest relationships. Remember, integrating these Stoic perspectives into your relationships can lead to a deeper and more meaningful connection, fostering harmony and mutual growth. Communication is essential to understand and be understood. Moreover, seek mutual growth in love, which is not just about feeling butterflies in the stomach, but also about evolving together as individuals. As Marcus Aurelius would say, seek what benefits both and fosters mutual growth in the relationship. Stoic wisdom invites us to contemplate love and relationships from a perspective of authenticity, understanding, and personal development. Although these thinkers lived millennia ago, their teachings remain a valuable guide in the complex labyrinth of love in the contemporary world. Perhaps by embracing this wisdom, we can find a deeper, more meaningful, and balanced love in our lives. From a Stoic perspective, sexuality and love are seen as intrinsic components of the human experience, not as whims or impulses to be repressed. The Stoics understood that while these emotions can be powerful and often intense, they also present opportunities to exercise virtue, self-discipline, and self-control. Unlike other philosophies that might consider love and desire sources of suffering, the Stoics advocated for a more balanced and wise approach. They considered that these emotions could be channeled to foster healthy and enriching relationships. So, what valuable lessons can we draw from Stoicism regarding our love and sexual lives? Stoicism provides us with a perspective that does not seek to repress sexuality and love, but rather encourages us to embrace them in a conscious and virtuous manner. We will explore in depth how this ancient philosophy can offer valuable insights for addressing sexuality and love in modern life, allowing us to live these experiences more meaningfully and balancedly. Join us on this journey of self-discovery and reflection on love and sexuality through the lens of Stoicism. When we explore the world of Stoicism and its perspective on sexuality, we delve into a vision that does not see sexual activity as a mere physical act, but rather as an expression of a natural order with its own purpose. This vision bequeathed to us by the Stoics invites us to contemplate the importance of understanding that love and sexuality go far beyond mere physical satisfaction. They are actually vehicles that allow us to understand ourselves and others more deeply. In other words, the Stoics offer us a unique lens through which to appreciate and understand love and sexuality in a broader context, where self-control, respect, and mutual understanding are of utmost importance. So, if you've ever felt lost or confused in the maze of love and relationships, or if you're in search of a new, profound perspective, I invite you to join us on this journey into the world of love and sexuality through the eyes of the Stoics. Although their teachings were formulated millennia ago, the lessons they contain are as relevant today as they were then. Let's delve into how Stoic philosophy relates to our sexuality and desires. The Stoics, like other thinkers of antiquity, considered it fundamental to understand human nature in order to lead a virtuous life. They believed that we are born with certain inclinations and desires that, in their essence, are neutral. What really matters is how we respond and act accordingly. When it comes to desire, especially sexual desire, the Stoics teach us that it is not something to be rejected or viewed as inherently negative. In reality, it is simply an intrinsic part of human nature. However, what sets us apart, according to the Stoics, is how we choose to act on those desires. Beyond mere acceptance of desire, the Stoics view sexuality from a broader perspective, connecting it with the cosmos. In their view, everything in the universe follows an order dictated by nature, a constant flow of causes and effects. Sexuality, in this context, is nothing more than an expression of that natural order. It is not limited to being a mere physical act or mere attraction. It is a manifestation of nature's will to continue life. Understanding sexuality as something in harmony with the order of the universe leads the Stoics to view it as transcendental. Sexuality, seen through the Stoic lens, transcends beyond mere pleasures or procreation. It becomes a way to connect with something greater than oneself, the rhythm and melody of the cosmos. When addressing sexuality from a Stoic perspective, we do not just talk about individual acts or isolated desires, but about how they fit into the grand tapestry of nature. This approach reminds us that we are, ultimately, natural beings, and that our desires and actions, even in the realm of sexuality, must be understood and addressed in that broader context. Because at the end of the day, our sexuality, like any other aspect of our existence, becomes an opportunity to live in harmony with the universe and with ourselves. Now let's talk about Stoic love. At first glance, it may seem like a contradiction, especially considering that Stoicism focuses on self-control and detachment. However, Stoic love offers us a unique perspective on how to love and relate to others. Love is undoubtedly one of the most intense and passionate emotions we all experience at some point in life. But here lies the beauty of the Stoic perspective on love. Contrary to what one might think, the Stoics do not urge us to avoid love or give it up, but rather to experience it in a more profound and meaningful way. The Stoics do not seek for us to avoid our passions, but to understand them and give them direction. As Seneca, one of the most renowned Stoics, rightly said, "It's not that we should avoid passions, but that we should not allow them to have power over us." It's a call not to reject our emotions, but to guide them and give them purpose. The central idea here is that we should not allow uncontrolled passions and unexamined love to lead us down impulsive and destructive paths. Love, when not approached with wisdom, can lead to obsessive decisions or even despair. However, when we apply Stoic principles to love, we can love deeply without losing our inner peace. This is known as love without attachment. Love without attachment involves loving without expecting anything in return, without trying to possess or control the other person, but simply appreciating their presence and the value of the shared moment. Speaking of this, it's impossible not to mention Epicurus, another prominent Stoic philosopher who left some profound reflections on love. One of his most iconic phrases says, "Do not demand that things happen as you wish. Rather, wish them to happen as they do, and you will do well." When we apply Stoic philosophy to love, Epicurus's perspective is enlightening. Instead of trying to mold a relationship according to our desires and expectations, he urges us to learn to love and appreciate things as they are. This includes accepting the impermanence of relationships, understanding that they can change or even come to an end, and yet deciding to love anyway. Detachment, in the Stoic context, does not mean lacking care or affection for the loved one. On the contrary, it implies loving in a more genuine and free manner. It means the ability to enjoy the present without constantly obsessing about the future. It allows us to appreciate our loved ones as they are, without trying to change them, and to understand that true love is not possessive, but liberating. In summary, the Stoics offer us a unique perspective on love that is deeply passionate, yet balanced and centered. This philosophy is a reminder that love in its purest form is a celebration of life and our connection with others. When we experience love from this place of wisdom and detachment, it becomes one of the most enriching and transformative experiences. Now, if you want to delve deeper into how Stoicism influences matters such as marriage and family, let's continue exploring together. Marriage and family are fundamental pillars in many cultures throughout history, but how did the Stoics view them? What meaning did they attribute to these institutions, and how did they live them in their daily lives? To understand this, we must first comprehend that for the Stoics, marriage was not simply a union between two people in love. It was also a commitment to society and the continuity of humanity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, mentioned that the act of marriage is an act of nature aimed at the continuation of the species. They did not see it as a mere social convention, but as an integral part of the natural order of things. From this perspective, the duties and responsibilities in marriage were not seen as burdens, but as opportunities for personal growth and contributing to the common good. Fidelity, mutual respect, support, and commitment were fundamental for the Stoics in a successful marital relationship. They based their idea of a strong relationship on virtue, which involved a deep mutual understanding and a shared commitment to work together towards a greater good, both for the couple and for society at large. Regarding upbringing and education, the Stoics had an equally profound and reflective perspective. They firmly believed in the idea that children are not simply small adults in need of guidance. Rather, they are beings in formation who need guidance, love, and, above all, good examples to follow. As Seneca said, children learn more from what you are than what you teach. In other words, the behavior and actions of the parents are the first life lessons their children will receive. From this perspective, educating a child was not just about imparting knowledge, but also about instilling values, teaching by example, and preparing them to face life with wisdom and resilience. The Stoics advocated for an education that cultivated virtue, self-control, and the ability to face adversity with serenity. In summary, the Stoic vision of marriage and family is a combination of commitment to nature, society, and oneself. It is not just about fulfilling roles or following conventions, but about living according to principles that enrich the lives of individuals and the community as a whole. It is a perspective that, although ancient, remains surprisingly relevant in the modern world and offers a refreshing perspective on how to live relationships and family responsibilities to the fullest. Regarding advice for a balanced love life, it is essential to remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, who stated that what does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee. This wise reflection reminds us of the importance of contributing to both the well-being of our family and the community at large. Ultimately, our love and care for others are a fundamental part of a fulfilling life. This simple reflection invites us to view love and relationships not only from an individual perspective, but also from a collective approach. It reminds us that what is good for one should also be good for the other, and vice versa. Seneca, on the other hand, advised us that wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. In the context of love, this reflection encourages us to treat our loved ones with kindness, understanding, and respect at all times, recognizing their humanity and value in our lives. But how do we apply this advice in our daily relationships? Here are some ideas based on Stoic thought. 1. Value the present. Seneca reminds us that life is short, so we must appreciate every moment with our partner. Live in the present and do not let concerns or future expectations eclipse your current happiness. 2. Self-control. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-control in love. This means not giving in to unfounded jealousy, anger, or resentment. Cultivate patience and understand that everyone, including yourself, is imperfect. 3. Love without attachment. As Epictetus expressed, we should not cling too tightly to external things because they are not under our control. This includes romantic relationships. While you can love passionately, be prepared to accept any outcome with serenity. 4. Communication. The Stoics emphasized the importance of wisdom and mutual understanding in daily life, promoting open and sincere communication. These Stoic principles can enrich our relationships and help us live a more balanced and satisfying love life. Ultimately, they encourage us to love more consciously and build strong and meaningful relationships in our lives. Honest communication is essential for achieving mutual understanding and shared growth in love. Love is not only about feeling butterflies in the stomach, it also involves growing together as individuals. As Marcus Aurelius said, we should seek what benefits both and foster mutual improvement in the relationship. Stoic wisdom invites us to contemplate love and relationships from a perspective of authenticity, understanding, and personal growth. Although these teachings originated millennia ago, they remain a valuable guide in the complex maze of love and relationships in the contemporary world. Perhaps by embracing this wisdom, we can find deeper, more meaningful, and balanced love in our lives. The legacy of Stoicism in love and sexuality endures today. As we explore history and delve into the depths of Stoic philosophy, we must ask ourselves about its relevance in our modern world. Surprisingly for some, the answer is that these teachings remain significantly relevant. Stoic lessons on love and sexuality are not mere relics of the past, but timeless guides that can illuminate our path in relationships in today's world. We live in an era where love and relationships are often idealized, commercialized, and seek instant gratification. It is in this context that Stoic teachings can serve as a beacon to keep us focused on deeper, more meaningful, and authentic relationships. We live in a time where instant gratification seems to rule our interactions, yet the Stoics remind us of the importance of introspection, self-discipline, and genuine connection. Although love in its essence has not changed over time, what has evolved are the circumstances and contexts in which it manifests. By applying Stoic principles such as valuing the present, practicing self-control, and loving without attachments, we can forge more authentic, resilient, and profound relationships. In terms of sexuality beyond physical pleasure, the Stoic perspective invites us to understand and respect our nature, recognizing the beauty and intimacy it entails. It encourages us to approach action with a clear mind and a genuine heart. As we navigate this modern era with its unique challenges and opportunities, we carry with us the jewels of wisdom bestowed by the Stoics, not as a rigid manual, but as a compass toward a more meaningful and enriching life in our relationships. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.